Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us under the library. We are an actual play, tabletop role-playing podcast, and we actually play. We don't have scripts, we don't edit for narrative, we create the story collaboratively in the moment. If you enjoy what we do here and would care to support it, you can head on over to underthelibrary.com/support. There you'll find direct links to our first module called The Snake's Oil on DriveThruRPG and to our Patreon account. Again, that's underthelibrary.com/support. And if you are a tabletop RPG gamer or GM looking to do more role-playing and less rules lawyering, check out our other show. It's called Up Your RPG and can be found wherever you get your podcasts. My name's Arthur. I am playing Buddy, and we are back to full strength tonight. So that means I am joined by Wayne as Sister B, Rick as Sam, Scott as Eddy, Emily as Collette, and as always, by our keeper. That's Michael. Michael, the show is all yours. And you're muted.
Library. No, I'm just an idiot.
Okay, good.
Too. Under the Library is a horror tabletop role-playing game set in the Call of Cthulhu universe. It features horror and other unsettling imagery. Not safe for Scott is your signal the following information will be graphic. If you're concerned, skip ahead, but stay with us. And on that note, I lost it.
Where's your disclaimer? Where's your disclaimer? No disclaimer? Go to Emily, think of one. Disclaimer when you come back.
Way to recover.
I go to Emily.
And now on to Emily for last week's recap.
In the clinic, Collette begins to trust Dr. Gardner and shares her real story. Buddy, in the waiting room, overhears pieces of the conversation while fidgeting with the unopened letter in his pocket. Collette faints as the doctor draws blood, and Ellen helps her back to the lobby to await results. Collette is not sure how to feel when the results of her tests come back 100% normal. On the other end of town, Sam is at home, handing Cheryl a pamphlet about new Bloodstone. Cheryl strikes a match to light a cigarette, and the sulfurous smell sends Sam into a horrific vision, melding elements of his past and present into a hellish nightmare. As we come to a close, Cheryl shakes Sam awake, asking, "So, are we going to New Bloodstone?"
And so, on that note, if you ever practice interrogating your dirty dishes as you dunk them in water, then you're probably in the right place. But anyway.
That was a good one. Did you come up with that on the spot?
No, if I had remembered it, it would have been better.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
I thought you just didn't have one and came up with one while Emily was doing it. That would have been impressive.
I had one, and then my mind went blank. I didn't have my sheet.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, so Scott, we left off with Eddy. Well, actually, we missed out on Eddy's shenanigans last week. So where was Eddy while the rest of the gang was doing their thing?
All right, so as soon as Eddy has a chance, he's breaking away from the group. He'll go up to Buddy and he'll be like, "Hey, I'm finally hungry, and I'm going to go to Mamma Tacconi's again. I remember that place I took you to a while ago, and I'm getting myself some food. So you can come if you want. I don't know if you're going to want to watch this because I am just going to eat the shit out of that place."
Yeah, I mean, that's great that you got your appetite back, but we just ate like 45 minutes ago, so I'm not hungry yet.
I can't believe it was that long ago. So I'll catch up with you when I'm done, okay?
Okay, enjoy your dinner. Or
you got
brunch,
it, buddy.
breakfast
It's
number
every
2.
meal at once. That's all I'm saying.
11sies?
So I'll head on over. What time is it at this point? Is it like early afternoon, like lunchtime? I can't remember.
I was thinking it was morning. I thought we had just had breakfast.
I think we were, because we're kind of going backwards a little bit. It was mid-morning when y'all went your separate ways. So
I'm guessing it's, let's say 10:30, and I'm knocking on the door. And I'm like, "Come on, Mama, you got to let me in."
I want to do an Italian accent. I almost jumped in as the NPC there, but it's so racist I can't do it.
No, but just...
Wow. All right. And who's there?
Hey, it's me. Come on, Eddy. You remember me, Eddy Ten Fingers Del Dingendorf. I ain't been hungry
Eddy!
in forever. Do you remember how
Oh
much
my
money I spent
God,
here?
Eddy, come
That's what I'm
in.
saying. I gotta get in here and I gotta eat. I'm starving for your lasagna and I need some other stuff too.
Okay, so let's time dash just ahead about 30 minutes, and you're all alone in this restaurant, and you've had plates of what at this
So
point?
I've got so at this point, as long as she's bringing them, I ordered lasagna, I ordered manigot, I ordered a big thing of just pasta with meatballs on it, and I've got a giant loaf of garlic bread. And I told her to just put provolone on top and put it under the broiler. So I've got like three, four entrees plus an entire garlic bread.
Eddy, when are your friends getting here?
Oh, you got it. If my friends were coming, I'd have ordered more food for them.
You're gonna eat all this food?
And as I'm saying this, I've got food. Like I got a meatball in one corner of my mouth, like a chipmunk. I'm just putting pasta in the other part of my mouth, and I'm just eating away. I'm like, I can't believe how good your food is. When I leave this town, I'm gonna miss you more than anybody else, Mamma Tacconi.
This part's not safe for art.
Do you have any tofu? Because that's what I'm craving.
And so she keeps bringing the plates, and she kind of initially has that response of like, oh, eat, it'll make you feel better. And now she's starting to get a little concerned. And so as she drops off your fourth plate of food with your melted provolone on top.
And I'm hoping what you're saying really quickly to jump in is that I've cleaned every plate.
Yeah.
I've
Which
cleaned
she
every
was
plate.
really pleased with plates 1 and 2.
With plates 1 and 2, but by 3 she's like,
plates 3 and 4, she's starting to get a little concerned about you.
So all right, so then at the end, like I've got the provolone, I've got the garlic bread, and I'm just breaking them off, and I'm like, I gotta ask you, Mamma Tacconi, do you have any of the tripe?
Jesus.
And she just shakes her head, and she just looks at you and she goes, Eddy, if you really want, I'll bring you another slice of lasagna. But honey, I'm not making any tripe this early.
Oh, all right, I'm coming back. I already had. I think 4 plates is probably enough. Plus, I got the garlic bread, and I'm breaking it off, and I'm still chewing. I'm like, this is really good. So if I come back in an hour or two, maybe it'll be ready. Because I need to know when I can come back and get your tripe. Because if I leave town before I've had it, I'm going to be brokenhearted.
And she goes, if you come back in an hour to eat more, Eddy, 10 fingers, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
I'll throw like would be a lot of, like at the time, like I'm throwing $50 on the table, which is probably an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah, that would be.
Absolutely. I'm throwing a 50, and I'm going to throw it on the table, and I'm going to be like, look, this is for this meal, and this is for later on today when I come back, and you keep the change because this is the best food I've had in my entire life. And I'll be sort of chewing on the garlic bread, and I'll like give her a kiss on the hand. I'll be like, best food in the world, and start heading out.
Nice. So we'll cut to Sister B.
All
Are
right.
you there? Yeah.
Well, Sister B, is with Ethan. Did we go back to convent, or did we catch
You tell me.
train?
You had a couple hours to wait, so you can decide what you would do.
So a couple hours go by. We are outside in sun. It's getting to be mid-afternoon. We have snacks in our pocket from Sister just giving us food, and we see a train coming, and we look, and beyond the cars that hold liquid, we see perhaps a car that has maybe a door slightly askew. Maybe they have to slow down because I do remember what Sister B was going to do. She was going to fiddle with the tracks or do something with the signage to make a train slow down. That's exactly.
Oh, right. I do remember you saying that.
So she was looking at that's what she was looking at, the levers and the switches. And if she could do one, like for instance, if you do a switch halfway and they jam, the red lights will all go on and a train will have to stop. So it's easily fixed, but a train has to stop. So she figures that out and fiddles with a switch, so a train has to come to a halt where she can go and give it a better inspection of one. And if you
All
need
right.
her
Well,
to...
if you're gonna fiddle with switches, I'll give you an intelligence roll on that, Sister B.
All right.
Unless you want dexterity.
Ooh, dexterity for sure.
Okay.
She's pretty smart, but
She can fiddle those switches.
she can fiddle that switches with her fine gymnastics dexterity. And she rolled a 17. Holy crap. That's 1 point from a super crazy hard success.
Okay. All right. So tell me what happens then.
So Sister B goes to switch, and at first she's it's a little bit jammed, but not Sister B. She's strong, but she's also very limber, and she, with her dress on and her heavy shoes, she lives up and gives it a good kick because she has those martial arts skills, and she gives it a good kick, and it clangs, bang, and pops. And she pops open as loose as could be, and because it's as loose as could be, she sees an opportunity to put it halfway to where it's supposed to be. So it's neither here nor there. Train will have great trouble when it comes. Red lights flashing, blinking, so engineer will see and have to stop. And she says, this will be perfect. And she runs back to Ethan and she goes, come out to the bushes. When that train comes, we'll be running down this side of it. And we'll be looking for our first opportunity to get in and get a space.
Perfect. And we will cut to Buddy.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Buddy.
Hi. What's going on?
So are we starting at the clinic, or are we time dashing to being back at the hotel?
Y'all were already back at the hotel when we left off last week because we left off with Buddy pulling an envelope out of his pocket.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Great.
So has it been long enough that I would be back by now? Maybe they come tumbling in.
I don't know. This is a thing that Buddy would want to do alone. So if you do come in, that's fine, but he would put the envelope back in his pocket.
Okay. No, why don't we wait? I'll come in at the end then.
Okay. Wow, gross. Buddy is going to take the envelope out, open it up like he's done so many times before. But this time he's going to take a deep breath and pop open the envelope. I'm guessing since he's had it so long, it's probably would come right open, you think?
Yeah, especially the lack of humidity where you are and everything else, it would pop kind of almost with a crinkle and a snap, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so he's put his index finger in and grab the letter inside and start to pull it out. And he'd wait. Take another deep breath. Pull it all the way out. Start to unfold it. I'm assuming it's one sheet letter. I mean, now that I'm pulling the thing out, you can tell me what it looks like. Okay.
It's it was folded to fit in the envelope, but it only feels like one piece of paper.
Okay. So you pull it out, and I assume it's folded in thirds, standard letter style. Yep. You would take the one that's folded down, so the sort of loose part, and just flip that up.
Okay.
And almost take a peek.
Yeah, and you would see Dear Francis.
Okay. And does it look like, I hate to put this this way, but some script can be gendered. Does this look like, can I tell?
Oh, you had asked about that on the envelope.
Yeah.
And I said it wasn't completely clear, but it leaned towards maybe a rushed penmanship, a little more staccato.
It's the same penmanship as the addressing in front. Okay. Yeah. All right, then I'm going to open that bottom third.
Okay.
And look at who signed it.
And there's no signature at the bottom. There's a closing. There's a closing sentence. Would you have read that?
I guess if it's as I was glancing, what I noticed that there was a name in it. If not, I'm really looking to see who sent it.
Right.
So unless that was really obvious, I'm not trying to. I don't want to read the end of it. No.
Okay. No.
All right then.
There's no signature. There's no signing on it.
Okay, and turn it over. Anything on the back?
Just kind of the yellowing of the parchment.
Right.
It's been a few years. Yeah.
Okay, so I turn it back forward, look away from the paper, take another deep breath, and start to read.
Okay. And we'll cut to Collette.
Well, I'm in my room next door, and I am gathering my things because we've talked about leaving. And now that I have the idea in my mind, being free of this place just for a little while seems like the best thing I can imagine. So I am very meticulously going around the room and making sure that there will be no sign of my presence after I leave.
Great. So tell me everything that you're packing up.
Well, I have some clothes now, more so than Richard's, although I do also have that old suit of Richard's still. And essentially, all of my things will fit into a big carpet bag. I have a folder in which I have a lot of loose paper, some of which is blank, and some of which has some sketches on it of various things, including the papers from after the vision that I had showed to Buddy and Eddy.
Okay.
The ring is still in my pocket. The ring stays in my pocket. And I still have the knife that I was clutching in the closet from Richard's kitchen.
Okay.
Just like I'll wrap a towel around it or something and just stick it in the bag. But I don't have much.
Okay. Perfect. Sam?
But to be clear, though, I'm going around, I'm looking under furniture and into corners because I don't want to leave anything that could suggest that I was ever here. I also have a few hats that go in the bag.
All right. Sam.
Yep. Well, Sam probably would have been ecstatic to hear that Cheryl's ready to get on this little family adventure. It's his opportunity to try and meld things up, and so he'd be in the process of packing up and then making sure
I was actually almost imagining a cut scene of you loading the back of the truck.
Love it. Yeah, that works.
With some suitcases and a little scene of, but can I take my bike? Are we gonna go by train?
I just got this bike. You can't ride it.
Well, so I guess that would be the question. I guess in my mind, I was like, we would take the train up because that would make most sense instead of the truck. But I guess financially, or is there an easy way, Keeper? Would it make logical sense to take the train up? Was my first inclination versus an automobile all the way up in this like family vacation. But that would be equally amusing, and I'm 100% on board to take the family truck up with everybody.
So I'm going to yes, and you'll take the train.
Oh, is that the easy answer? Oh, shoot. All right. Well, I guess we're taking the train, but we're going to load everything into the truck to get to the train station. And before we head off, though, I need to make sure that the cows are put out to pasture. God knows I need to do that. And so I would make my way over to our neighbor, his little farm next door of Cherry Padillas, and he's a pecan farmer.
Fantastic.
If you bring your bike in the pickup truck and it's sitting there, you should lock it up because someone might steal it.
Back.
You never know when one of those cranky ranchers might come through and just...
You never know. You never know. For the greater good. Anyways, I would go on over to Cherry Padilla's pecan farm, and I ask him to help put out a cow and be very diligent. It needs to be put out at least once a week. There needs to be at least a cow separated from the herd. Is sort of an arrangement that I have, and I'll be.
You say put out or put down?
Put out.
Put out to pasture. And so we'll kind of have a flyaway scene of you on their front porch gesticulating and pointing over to the ranch, and as we're kind of moving into that phase of you explaining and Amos running up and down the driveway on his bike, trying to get his last wheel turns in on his hot bike.
Love it.
There's no pushback from the neighbor? Like, there's no question of, oh, yeah, let's separate one cow out and leave it for a week. Oh, yeah, that's perfectly normal behavior. Sure, I'll do that for you.
Farming behavior. I don't know enough about farming to know if that's real or not, but it sounds weird to me.
Yeah, I don't either, but that seems
really
not.
It's not real.
It would only take us about 3 or 4 episodes to get through that moment, so that's why I'm just gonna push right on through.
That's fair.
That's great.
All right. So let's hop back down to Sister B, and Sister B is we're kind of getting there right as you hear the squeal of metal and the rush of smoke, or the plume, as it's just trying to get up to speed and then coming to a quick halt on the tracks.
Are these be diesel trains?
I
was gonna say it's the war.
Sure, I guess so.
I think but a lot of steam trains. So probably steam trains, I suppose. I don't really know.
I was imagining steam. We'll go with
probably
steam.
Yeah, probably steam. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it's coming to its full stop there. The lights are going. You hear a big commotion from the engineer, and people are starting to run to figure out what's going on at the tracks.
So Ethan. So he has to be a
Sister B. What are we doing?
Oh, Ethan, you get yourself all together. Get your feet ready to run, and we'll look for an opening. And we peer down, and we make our way, walking the opposite way from the front. We're walking towards the back of the train. I'm envisioning it on our left, perhaps, and we're looking over, scanning the cars, looking ahead a few cars to see if there's something cattle car-esque, perhaps a metal car, something with a door or an opening, or even perhaps something, on top or something that, it's hollow so you can get in, something to get concealed quickly.
Yeah, make a luck roll. Yeah, make a luck roll.
Yeah, her luck's getting lower and lower. And no. 15.
Okay. All right. So everything's kind of sealed up at track level, but you do see a ladder on the back of one of the box cars that looks like you could get in through the, it would get you up on the top of the train.
So it's on the back, not the side. So the back is slightly concealed. So Sister B, Ethan, come to side. And she quickly gets in between.
I thought we were going to get tickets.
Oh, there are free tickets to get on this train. So come near me. We will hop in. But let me go up this ladder very quickly. And she goes to it, and she says, she has her suitcase, and she puts it at the bottom of the stairs, not far from her ever. And she quickly goes up and takes a peek at roof opening. What perhaps is up there?
Yeah, it's a flat roof with, a latch, kind of a square latch entry in the middle of the roof.
Perfect. So at this point,
Maybe.
she looks down at Ethan, because they just have to take a chance that it will open and be beneficial. Ethan, grab suitcase. Come upstairs. Hand it to me. So she gets to the top, and she reaches down for a suitcase that he could hand to her.
Okay.
And then she wants him to come upstairs up the ladder, and then she'll help him if he is slow or trepidatious or stumbles.
He's keeps asking questions constantly, almost like a child would, even though he's not, right? And he's flying up behind you. He's quite nimble, and he doesn't have kind of the overwhelming fear that was back in the pharmacy. Now he's just a little bit confused, but he doesn't know what else to do, right? There's a ton of commotion, so he's following you, right? He's running up the ladder behind you.
Ethan, don't you feel the blood inside of you moving more, the great exuberance of this great adventure? She looks right in his eyes and says, this is an adventure we are doing to get out of this town, and we will be safe soon. Look at me. Climb up the stairs the rest of the way. We'll move over this hatch. You are very strong. Grab hatch. I will try to do it too. So she wants him to be part of it.
But Sister B, I want to be a pharmacist.
Oh, no questions like that right now. Quick, hatch. Lift hatch.
Okay. All right, and make a strength roll, Sister B.
Oh, man, a 7.
Wow.
All right.
That's an extreme success for her.
And then one more thing before we switch over to Buddy. Make a luck roll.
That's where she's not great.
Yeah, no.
Eh, that would be a 99.
Oh dear.
All right. So you pop open the latch, and we will cut to Buddy.
Sorry.
Sorry. As the tentacles reach out.
Yeah, wow.
Ethan gets dragged.
Ethan's like looking back. He's like, I did it. I opened it.
I wanted to be a pharmacist.
All right. We cut into Buddy as he has the letter open in front of him, and it says, reading aloud in his head, "Dear Francis, I don't know how many of these you've gotten over the years, and if you've already heard it, please read it again. If you haven't, all I ask, though you certainly don't owe it to me, is that you read the whole thing. I imagine you hate me, and you have every right to throw my memory away, and no one would blame you if you did. But before I die, I want you to know I did what I did to save you, save your mama, and God help us a whole lot more people. If you're reading this, I've succeeded, at least partially. May the Clifton destiny take you where you're needed. With all a father's love."
Whoa. He will read it again.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not going to make you read it again.
Okay.
But he will definitely read it at least twice, if not 3 times.
Okay.
And then carefully fold it back up, slide it back in the envelope, close the fold in the envelope, fold it back in half, put it back in his shirt pocket, and just sit and kind of absorb what he has just read.
And probably about then is when Eddie's going to start coming in. So not for nothing, but as you're saying what you're saying, you'll hear the door opening.
Okay. Yeah. And you would see Buddy looking very distant, not reacting to you coming in, sort of just sitting, staring straight ahead, as if almost comatose, just not reacting to anything around him.
Okay. So I come in and I've got, the last heel of the garlic bread with the provolone, and I'm coming in, I'm sort of chomping on it. And to be honest, I don't even notice what you're doing or that you're not there. I'm just like, oh God, buddy, you wouldn't believe the meal I just ate. And I just start telling you, I had a big plate of lasagna, and it's the Mamma Tacconi's lasagna, and she's got the meat sauce. And then I had a big thing of manigot, and I almost tried to double it, but you wouldn't let me do that. And I'm just going on and on about the meat. And then I finally look over at you, and I'm like, hey, you okay over there, buddy? You're not paying attention to my story about the ricotta and the manicotti and all the delicious food. I even gave her money so that we got a meal going later. I thought you'd be a little bit more excited. You doing okay?
How far away from me are you?
I'm guessing that like I'm 4 feet, 5 feet, like close enough that I can look in your eyes.
I'm gonna take the envelope out of my pocket and just hold my hand up toward you.
Okay.
Giving you the envelope.
Obviously, my affect will change, and I'll be like, let me see. Let me take a look. Thanks there, buddy. And I'll open it up, read it, and I'll be like, wow, buddy, is this is addressed to you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's from my dad. You
dad?
Remember I told you he's been gone? I've never known him.
Yeah. But you told me you grew up with your mom, though.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he saved her.
That's kind of
looks like he saved you.
That's kind of weird what he's saying, isn't it?
I wonder what he saved you from. Did your mom ever tell you?
No.
Did she give you any stories about him? Give you any picture of why
No,
he had to maybe save you guys?
we never talked about him. He just wasn't there.
Yeah, I wonder if she forgot, or I wonder if she never told you the truth. Moms protect their kids. That's what they do.
Yeah, you're right. Buddy's going to get up and pick up the telephone. Dial his mom's phone number.
Okay. And I'll hand you back the letter. I'll say, hey, look, while you're doing that, I'm going to go check on Collette. You let me know when it's safe to come back, but you take all the time in the world. Okay, buddy?
Okay, thanks, Eddy.
And I'll sort of walk over and I'll pat you on the back and I'll be like, you're a good man, buddy. And then I'll head on.
Buddy, can you make a spot hidden and then we'll cut to Collette?
Yes. I think that's a success, but let me just check here. Yeah, it's a success. A
Okay,
normal success.
All right, we'll just hold on to that.
Okay.
And we'll cut to Collette.
So after I cleaned and I cleaned and I packed and I cleaned again and I just didn't know what to do with myself, I find myself standing in front of the mirror, just staring at myself as I think through everything that Dr. Gardner said to me and all of the other things that I know that I've picked up here and there about the different conditions, the infectious disease and things happening in the facility. And I pull up my sleeve and I look at the shoulder where the not Dr. Gardner's injection, but the purple injection would have been.
Okay.
And I try as best I can to look at the back of my neck because I remember, I'm assuming this somehow the details of Richard's situation made it to me in the previous month. But
okay. Make a sand roll for me.
Of course. Oh, I have to check. That's close. That's a fail.
Okay. And you're standing in the mirror and you get really lightheaded. Your feet start to get heavy and the background behind you changes and you start to smell something. It's almost like an ammonia smell and kind of a combination or maybe a cleaning agent, something like that. And it's maybe like a combination of some of the just like the smells from the things you use to wipe up the countertop and stuff in your room, and they're coalescing under your nose, and you start to feel like you're back in that room that they kept you in, and take 3 points of sand damage as you hear a voice that says, Are you ready to make a run for it?
Okay. Oh my goodness. What? Somebody helped me get out? Okay, sorry. This is news to Emily.
Are you ready to make a run for it? And this is the voice that you hear. The door's going to be open. There's quite the commotion. If you're going to go, you should go now.
Yes. Who are you?
And you're just kind of talking at your reflection in the mirror. And
if it works, just then she hears.
Perfect.
That's fair.
As you're staring at the mirror saying, who are you? Essentially to yourself, and you hear a knock at the door. And we'll cut to Sam.
All right. Well, so I will add Sam. I'm getting things together. He would have made a pass by his pasture to his cows and would have checked in on them, give him a little bit of a look, sort of a teary-eyed nod, and then I'd probably make a call over to the hotel to either Buddy or Colette's. We traded numbers, or at least I gave them my number. I don't know if I got your number when we had conversed there, buddy, on exiting. But if I did, I would
I
give
would
them
think
a
so.
call. Yeah. I'd give them a call to let them know that I'm about to pack up the family and head on out of town.
Is the phone busy when he calls?
Yes,
Because
it
Buddy has
is.
picked it up to call his mom.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my Lord, ain't that a peach? And oh, and so I would say, hope this doesn't lead to a divorce.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
would
roll a
say
voicemail in 1942.
I would say, Cheryl, I need to make a quick stop over at the Straits to let some friends in town know we're headed on up to Bloodstone so they can watch over things.
Yeah, Sam. Of course, Sam. And her demeanor has changed pretty drastically since the incident. And it's almost you see a level of her being worried about you in a way that she hasn't been. Yeah,
I'm sure it's fine.
absolutely.
I'm more worried and weirded out that she's so agreeable now. So now I'm suspicious. And I'd be like, "Oh, that's so kind of you. Do we get everything we
You
need?"
can make another sand roll on that if you want.
Oh, I'd love to.
Because I think that I'm not just trying to mess with you. I think when you put
Yeah,
it
no,
in
it would
that
weird me out.
perspective that Sam would be pretty weirded out.
Yeah, so I got a 90.
Okay,
So no.
just take 2 points off. It's not a major thing. It's just kind of a encroaching paranoia
Sure.
that's building within Sam.
We all got it. And so I'd encourage her to make sure we got everything we need and head on over to the hotel. And this is sort of a two-part and I would grab my sort of military bag in addition to everything else with a couple of weapons and things that I would store in the luggage on the train. And obviously, I don't know any of the TSA regulations in the 1940s. Aware that's not a thing, but that I could probably store some things in stowage and make my way over to the hotel.
Okay. So that gets us back to Sister B.
In the 99.
What was that roll?
That roll wasn't so hot.
It's still sitting here in front of me. I haven't changed it.
All right. So, Sister B, you pull the hatch really forcefully. In fact, it
Push Ethan off the train.
what happens is as you pull the hatch really forcefully and he's trying to help, the train lurches forward as it starts to roll. The hatch catches Ethan in the face.
Ooh.
And
no.
let's see how Ethan responds.
Oh, Ethan, we barely knew ye.
So Ethan goes sliding down the side. I need you to make a dex roll.
Choice time. This could be going. Whoa!
There may not be choices here. We'll see.
All right, dexterity roll. Ethan, I got you. Hand reaches out. Ooh, 75, but her dexterity's an 80.
Okay.
You tell me.
So what happens is you fall into the hatch, landing inside the boxcar. Then on your feet, you kind of use your gymnast balance to land off.
Plants it.
You hear Ethan scratching on the roof and yelling, and then you don't hear him anymore.
Oh no!
Oh, Ethan.
And you feel the train starting to lurch forward, and it's rolling now.
Please tell me it goes. Tutum, tutum.
While the week Scott was gone, he's trying to make up for it. He's getting like really.
So she's inside. So this is where she tries to looks at the side and such like that, and jumps. She could jump and such, and tries, jumps to try to grab the edge and pull herself back up and peek out and see how things are going. But she does that first. So she jumps up and grabs the edge, because she can jump pretty good. So that would be her first thing. If you want to try to do a dex roll or something.
I think that's more than dex. That's going to be
Dex
a
and
little
strength.
bit. That's going to be
Dex, strength, and luck.
What kind of? Do you have some sort of athletics or?
There is
a jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there is a jump.
Yeah. I'll give it to you at advantage since you're a gymnast.
Oh, good lord, her jump's terrible. Wow.
She's an older gymnast.
Not even close.
I mean, that would be a pretty tall jump.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that was one. Yeah, that was going to
Because-
say what's inside to, just a quick survey to if there's something to grab, if it's close to the edge. I don't know if it was right in the middle. So she jumps, and no, she wasn't even close.
Okay. And she jumps, and then she starts to really look around at her surroundings. The hatch is open. It's really the only source of light. It's a heavy latch, so it's swung open.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that you're inside a car, and everything is covered with these really heavy tarps.
Oh, so there's
And
actually stuff in there.
We'll cut to who should we cut to here? Buddy.
All right. So I am holding the phone and dialing my mother's phone number.
Hello?
Is that my mom's voice?
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, buddy, it's so good to hear from you.
It's great to hear your voice, Mom.
How are you? Are you still in California?
No, Mama, I'm in New Mexico. I've been here for a while.
New Mexico?
Yeah.
When did you get to New Mexico?
I sent you a letter. I got transferred a few months ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I remember now.
Okay, good. Hey, listen, Mom. I have a letter here that it's pretty old, but I just read it, and it's to me, from who I think must be Dad. Daniel. It did say his name, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Oh no,
No?
not in the letter. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
it didn't.
not in the letter.
Oh, okay.
No. Remember, it just was signed with all of Father's
Oh,
love.
it's yeah. It says it's signed with all of Father's love. But his name's not on here. And he said that why he left was to protect us. What do you know about that, Mom? I know we haven't really talked about this, but I'm super curious.
Ooh, all right. Let's see. Buddy, how do you want to get Mom to talk? Are you thinking persuade here? Are you thinking
Intimidation?
yeah? Buddy's gonna use his strength, all his strength.
Right. Yeah, I mean I think persuasion probably makes the most sense.
Go for it then. You can roll with advantage. She's your mom.
Yeah. I'm gonna need advantage. Nope. My persuade sucks.
Buddy, we don't talk about these things. You know, he left you and me, and he left us.
Yeah, I know, Mom. And I'm real sorry about that, and I'm sorry to bring this up out of the blue and all. But I'm really just trying to find out: is he being honest? Is this really him? I just want. It's a weird letter, and it
Buddy,
came to me.
He was a weird fella.
What? Why was he weird? What was weird about him?
He was stark raving mad some nights, going on and on about the demons this and the demons that, and those who were coming for us. And I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I can't believe I don't know why. I was a weak moment that I put that letter in the mail to you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I know that you don't like to talk about it, and I've always been okay with that. But I'm getting a little older, and I feel like it's time for me to learn more about him. And then this letter has really got me thinking, is there any more information is there someplace else I can learn more about him?
And she starts to, she says, your grandmother used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And I'm not saying anything more. And as she says that, you glance down and you're surprised you hadn't noticed it before, but the cancellation on the stamp is from Bloodstone.
Oh, shit.
And on that,
yeah,
we will wrap.
Oh, shit. I wasn't prepared for that. That was a cliffhanger. That's going to do it for this episode of Under the Library. Thanks so much for joining us. Until next time, you can find us at underthelibrary.com. As always, don't forget to check out our other show. It's called Up Your RPG. It can be found wherever you get your podcasts. So, for me, for Michael, for Emily, for Scott, for Wayne, and for Rick, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.